Hi there. So I'm Robert, and I am applying for the MagellanTV Crime Watch Dream job that actually my friend just sent me the link to the application, because I'm always talking to her about the crime TV that I watch, which is all the time. Just about 48 hours ago, I watched on Peacock, the streaming channel, the John Wayne Gacy documentary that was about 6 hours, 6 parts. I binge watched it in one night. What was unique about that was it had a lot of actual interviews of John Wayne Gacy from 1992. And one thing that was really interesting to me about that was that I actually found him very likable. I mean, when you consider his crimes, I realize that's kind of an odd thing to say, but in the original investigators, back when it happened, also made similar comments that he just seemed so normal. And I agree. I mean, even in his interviews, 12 years after the fact. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. So I watched, all of them, all the different channels, Dateline, 2020. What is it? Is Dateline ABC? Well, anyway, I want to say the ABC, the streaming channel, it's 28 seasons of Dateline that you can watch. So there's lots of binging going on there. Forensic Files. Of course, the interesting thing about Forensic Files is the voice, the narrator. I mean, if anything makes Forensic Files creepy, it's the narrator and how he speaks, which I think is probably a turnoff to the average person. It makes it a little too creepy. But in the end, forensics always saves the day, and the men and women that solve the case, it kind of overshadows the creepiness of it. One of my other favorite shows was always City Confidential. On A&E back in the day. I mean, probably 15, almost 20 years ago, which one of the crime channels just brought back Forensic Files. I just saw it, a couple months ago, and now when I'm around, I watch the reruns of that. Let's see, the JonBenet Ramsey case, I was actually in Boulder just about 5 months after the crime happened. So in roughly May of '97, and I saw the Ramsey house. At that time, I didn't even know the Ramseys lived in Boulder. I didn't know the crime happened in Boulder. Honestly, I was so kind of disgusted at how they were portraying all the pictures on all the tabloids was JonBenet, the young girl, in the makeup, in the beauty pageants. And I had become so disgusted with that element of it, I wasn't even following the crime. Little did I know John Ramsey was actually from Michigan, where I was from, and they have a summer home still there in Michigan. But anyway, so I saw their home in Boulder, and from the time I saw their home, just became hooked on the crime. I read all the books, all the movies. I actually happened a couple years ago, I just moved from Boulder. I've lived in Boulder for a few years, and I just moved kind of to the other side of town, but at a place I was waiting tables at just a couple years ago, come to find out one of the regulars who I waited on regularly was the deputy DA in Boulder during the case. And I only came to realize that because his name was different. And it was like, I know that name from someplace. And of course, it was from reading and following all the news video and reading all the books. And I'm like, and yeah, it turned out that was him. So that was kind of crazy. Let's see, OJ Simpson's another one. You may know about 10 years ago, a seasoned private investigator did his own investigation. He came out with a book about 10 years ago, but he did his own investigation on his own right at the time of the crime. OJ Simpson and Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman. And his book that came out was OJ's Innocent and I Can Prove It. And wow, yeah, I agree. After reading this, of course I thought OJ was guilty. I never followed the case. To me, it was just an open and shut case based on the media. I mean, there didn't seem to be any need to follow it. I mean, there wasn't really even a case. It was OJ did it. Oh, I don't think he did it at all. The book claims that his oldest son from his first marriage did it. And of course, I read OJ's book, If I Did It, which most people don't know actually ended up getting published, getting released by, it was awarded, the book that OJ wrote was awarded to the Goldman family, and they released it. And then they kind of covered up the if part on the cover of the book. So the title looks like I Did It by OJ Simpson. And so anyway, but no, I do think he's, especially if you know, if you like psychology, it's very, he doesn't fit the profile at all for that crime, psychologically speaking. But so no, I do think OJ is innocent now, thanks to that investigator who wrote that story. So anyway, yeah, I think I would be really good. I would analyze the crimes. I'd share that on the social media. I would share my own feelings about binge watching something as negative as crime for 24 hours straight. And hopefully my psyche will stay intact. But anyway, so I think I'm up to the challenge. I'd really like to do it. And I think you would be glad that you picked me. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.